So there's about 7.5 weeks to go now until my first marathon, one of what will hopefully be 10 marathons. And I suppose now I've decided I've got to step things up a little bit with not just the training, but getting a bit more serious with the way I'm preparing for this mentally, physically, nutritionally, biomechanically, doing all the things that I know I need to do and have sort of underprepared with up to this point. Now there are still 7.5 weeks to go, so I'm fairly confident that I've got enough time to get myself into a position where I'm able to complete 10 marathons in 10 days. But after a conversation yesterday with Jerry Duffy, a man who's very familiar with this kind of challenge, um, he basically said, I've got two options. I can either go ahead and do the run and the runs and have a challenging experience and get something positive out of it, or I can go along and I can have the most amazing, fantastic, life-changing experience of my life. And the choice is largely down to myself, and a lot of that's going to come down to how much I prepare and what I put into it in the next few weeks. So yeah, it's time to get a little bit more serious. And I've also decided to record a few of my thoughts and feelings and perhaps some of the practical stuff as well as I get closer and closer to September the 2nd, the first of the 10 marathons. And right now I'm oscillating between feeling super confident, at least that's the image that I'm trying to project, because I do believe that the more I can project that image, the more I'll start to believe it myself. And inwardly, I'm feeling a little bit apprehensive, perhaps. The bigger I'm making this, in terms of getting more publicity, getting sponsors on board, raising money for charity, putting more pressure on myself, really, the more I'm having to look inwards and think to myself, what if you fail? What if this doesn't work out? Because frankly, it's 10 times 26.2 miles. I've never in my life run two long runs back to back, let alone 10, let alone marathons. I think I've only done 7 marathons in my whole life, and I restarted a few years ago with them. So though I'm not unfamiliar with running and I'm confident as a runner, this is going to be a huge step up for me, which is the reason I'm doing it. If it was just the case of run a marathon, then it's a challenge I've already done, and this is about finding something a little bit bigger. But now that there's a little bit more pressure, it's starting to become a bit more of the pressure's starting to build, and I'm starting to feel that. And I'm looking at getting sponsors on board, hopefully looking at getting a sponsor to sponsor each day, running with Ron Hill, who was one of my sponsors. Their company logo emblazoned across my t-shirt every day for the whole of the 10 days. Now I've got the pressure of thinking, well, what if I don't get to day 10? We'll have to give that money back. All the money that's raised is going to Tomley Hall Activity Centre, a fantastic children's charity. And so there's pressure there. I'm putting myself under the pressure of raising money for them, and what if I'm unable to do that? So all these thoughts are going on in the background, and at the same time trying to squash them by telling myself that everything's going to be just fine, and one way or other I'm going to get through it. I've read enough books and I've spoken to enough people who have done these kind of things, and I know what it's going to take mentally, and I believe I have that, but I'm never going to know until I get there. So the next few weeks, the next 7.5 weeks are going to be an interesting ride, both getting in the training and getting all the other aspects of preparation ticked off as well, whilst trying to live my normal day-to-day life. And it's going to be an interesting ride, and hopefully I'll be able to share some or quite a lot of that with you, whoever happens to want to watch these videos and keep up with my journey and the training and everything else, all the other preparations on this channel. So subscribe to the channel, and I'll keep you posted with how things are going. Bye for now.